So today, your life is going to change. You are going to find out how to install and set up NordVPN on your computer running Manjaro Linux or another Arch Linux variant. The first step will be just to install the program. That's the only part that's specific to Arch or Manjaro or anything. Everything else will be identical for anything else because it's just getting it set up. It's only installing it that's slightly different. So in the description is a timestamp for when everything becomes irrelevant to the distribution, and you can follow along even if you're using Ubuntu or something else or whatever. But so to get started, the first thing you're going to want to do is open a terminal. And so before you do anything, when you're installing software, the first thing you should do is update what you already have installed, because sometimes what you're going to be installing relies on things that you have installed, and since you're going to be installing the most up-to-date version of this new program, you want to make sure you have everything on your computer already be up-to-date. So to do that on Arch Linux, the package manager is pacman. And then to install things, you sync with the S flag, so it's -S, Y to refresh, and U to update. So basically that's saying, A, I want to do something having to do with installing software, getting new software, so sync with the database. Y, you want to refresh, you want to check what's new, and U, updates, you want to download all the updates and upgrade your computer. And so before you run this, you have to run it as administrator, or as root as it's called. So you do that with the command sudo. So this is saying run the command pacman syu update my computer as administrator. So you do that, you put in your password. And then so you can press yes or no. If you just press enter, it'll do the default, which is the capital letters, so Y. And then it's going to update everything. Depending on how much there is to update, it'll depend how long it'll take, but there's only a few things, so it was quick for me. And so when you're installing anything, you want to check for what you're going to install in the database, sort of like the App Store, so to speak. And so you use pacman again, and you're going to again want to sync, and then you do lowercase s for search. So then you would check, okay, NordVPN. Oh, it's not there. Well, let's see what else is there, just for the sake of argument. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff to do with a VPN. But actually, the thing that you need isn't actually in the main repository. So that's sort of like the App Store, so to speak, and it has a curated list of things. There's also the AUR, the Arch User Repository, where members of the community can submit packages, and you can install them that way. And so that's actually where NordVPN is. So you're going to need what's called an AUR helper. There's multiple ways to install things from the AUR, but the way most people do it once they've done it manually a few times is to do it with an AUR helper. I believe the best one is called Yay. There's also Yowert or Packar or a bunch of different things. But Yay, Y-A-Y, has the same syntax as pacman, so if you're used to pacman, you'll feel at home. And so Yay itself is actually in the AUR, but to get it on Manjaro, there's already a command to get things from the AUR. It's called pamac. I guess it's related to pacman. It's the only time you'll have to use this, because from now on you can install things with Yay. So this is just to get Yay, which sort of gives you, in that metaphor, it gives you an access to like another app store, if you want to think about it that way. So you run pamac install Yay, if I'm not mistaken. Then it'll ask you for your password because you're installing something. I'll try to put that in right. Oh, gotta do it again. All right, and then it's gonna ask you a couple questions. So apply the transaction, Y for yes. It's gonna get Yay, and then to confirm that Yay is installed, you can say which Yay, and that'll tell you, for any command, it'll tell you what file it is. And so if there's not a file for it, it'll mean it's not installed. So before if you already had Yay installed, that would be a good way to check. But if you put in something random, you don't have that command installed. But you can use that for other things. You can do which, grep, anything. So now you have Yay installed, and so as I said, Yay has a similar syntax to Pacman. So again, you're going to want to search, capital S for sync, lowercase s for search, and then if you try NordVPN, you'll see there's a couple things. The one that you want though is NordVPN bin. So Yay-S, that's all you need for install, and then NordVPN-bin. Notice that you don't run Yay as root, so there's no sudo. It'll actually chide you if you try, but it'll ask you to authenticate anyway. So run that. So this is asking you if you want to basically see what's new since the last version. So I'm just going to hit enter for no, enter to proceed. Just going to take a second. I'm actually going to pause it, and then I'll be right back when it's done. Alright, so that ended up being pretty quick, but so NordVPN is now installed. If you want to double check that something's installed just for yourself, you can run pacman capital Q instead of capital S for query, so that's going to check what you have installed, and then again lowercase s for search. You can check NordVPN. Oh, it's right there. So I'm going to tell you what you need, but in case you're ever curious what a package has installed, you can do QL, so query list NordVPN bin. You'll need the full name, and then it'll show you everything it installed. So you don't actually need all this stuff. The only one that you're going to need is user bin NordVPN. That's the name of the program that you're going to run. So if you want to confirm that again for yourself, you can try which NordVPN. It's going to tell you where it's installed. So great, you've got it. So the first thing you're probably going to want to do is check the help. So -H. That'll give you some information, different things you can put in. So how to check your account, how to connect, how to see the status of your connection, check your settings, log in, log out. So, but I'll walk you through all of that. And if ever you want more information, you can view the manual. You can view the manual for almost any command with man. So man NordVPN, and that has even more details. So yeah, and if you're ever wondering how to get out of the man page, it's just Q for quit. But so the first thing you want to do is log in with your account. So you do NordVPN. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Actually, before you can do that, you have to get things set up a little bit. It's not hard though. Basically, all you're going to do is you're going to tell it that you want it to set itself up whenever you start your computer. That does not mean that you will connect automatically. It just means that basically, like, there's basically, I'll show you the command. So it's systemctl, system control, enable, so that means start on startup, NordVPN.service, I think it is. It'll complain if that's wrong. It might be NordVPN-D. Yeah, and so what this command does is it's gonna basically give it what it needs to run. Every time you start your computer, it's gonna basically set it up in the background. And to give you more of a concrete idea of what this is doing, like this is what a music player might do, like the back end for your music. So that way, if you turn off your computer and you have songs in the queue, or there's the current song playing or whatever, you don't need to have your music player open to keep track of that. So you can close your music player and it'll still know what the current song is. Or if you turn off your computer, it'll all still be there. And that doesn't mean that it's gonna, it's not gonna run your music player when you turn on your computer. It's just gonna, continue the part sort of behind the scenes that's keeping track of the music that was currently playing and all that. So similarly, this isn't gonna connect to you every time you turn on your computer. It's just gonna set it up so that NordVPN is ready for when you want to connect. So you have to run this as root. So sudo again, Okay, is it NordVPN D? Okay. And so it didn't ask me for my password again because I'd recently put it in. And so this command that I just run, it just checked the exit status of the previous command, so that's useful. If it's 0, it means that it ran successfully. If it's anything other than 0, it means that there was some sort of error. But usually, as things are in Linux, if nothing spits out, then it means it ran successfully, and it'll complain when something goes wrong, for the most part. But it doesn't hurt to check. So you just ran it on you made it ready to go on startup. Now you want it to set itself up now, because basically what we just did says, the next time you turn on your computer and all the times thereafter, set up NordVPN, but we haven't just turned it on a computer, so it's not ready yet. So we're going to run it for this session. So you do start. And so just to understand the breakdown of this command, systemctl is the thing that I was mentioning that manages processes in the background. It's the command that you use for systemd. I think it's system daemon. I think that's what it stands for. And you're saying you want to start the service by this name. And sudo is just saying, run that as administrator. So you do that. Check that it was successful. Okay, good. 0, it worked. And now we can run the login command to confirm that you're logged in. Okay, great. I'm already logged in. That actually happened because I had previously installed this, and I guess it saved the login information. But if you want to verify, you can run NordVPN account. I'm not going to do that because it has, sensitive information. But you can see NordVPN status. Okay, I'm not connected. So how do you connect? Well, if you look at the man page or the help page, it'll tell you that you do C or connect, up to you. And then you can connect to New York if you want. So connect to New York. And just to prove to yourself that it works, before you do that, you can run this command, curl space ifconfig.me. And so curl gets information from a website. And this website, ifconfig.me, you could visit it in your browser. Basically, it just shows you your IP address, so the unique location of where your computer is. Every computer will have a unique identifier. And so the reason this is useful is because a VPN is making you look like you're connecting from somewhere else. So if you run this, again, I'm not going to run it now because it contains sensitive information, but run it for yourself, see what it is, then connect to NordVPN, as I'll show you, and then compare it and see that it will show something different if you've connected successfully. So you could run that. So do that and then connect, and then you can connect to the location that you want. If you look in the man page, it'll tell you a command. I think it's NordVPN cities, and that'll give you a list, or countries, and that'll specify how you do that. So this is telling me it's connecting, and I got a little notification in the bottom right. You are connected to NordVPN. So if you do curl ifconfig.me again, it should show you something different than what you had before. So that's pretty much it. If you want more information, read the help page. So NordVPN-H or /help. And then if you want more thorough information, you can see man NordVPN, which has information that you might want. And last but not least, you can check the Arch Linux wiki, which has lots of good information. That's how I learned all this stuff. And also reading the man page. And this will tell you what to do. We did most of the basics, so pretty much everything you need to know is here. It also has some stuff that doesn't matter to you. It's just if you're trying to do something more specialized. But that's the basics. And just to confirm, let's see if I'm in New York. So this doesn't say my location, probably because okay, well, that's weird. It thinks I'm in Malaysia, but point being, yeah, it changed my location. I actually don't know why. Wait, what if you just go to maps.google.com? Okay, yeah, there we go. So, Lower Manhattan. Cool. So it works. So that's about it. If you have any questions, let me know.